This is David Lynn, and you are watching Coffee Talk, number 362 live stream. It is Friday, right at 7 p.m., the last Friday in December, the 27th. Please leave a like to support the channel, it'd be greatly appreciated. Please leave a like to support the channel, it'd be greatly appreciated. Hello, Bud Files. Welcome. Please leave a like to support the channel. Thank you for the like. I appreciate it. Well, the Bud Files has 2.51K subscribers, 1,000 videos. I am subscribed. Mom of 4 boys. Thank you for the like and welcome. Channels are growing, some faster than others. 1.63K subscribers, 798 videos. Doing well, Mom. Uncle Al, how's it going, Uncle Al? And my Linda Elliott, welcome. Hope you're doing better, Uncle Al. I've been getting lots of rest. Lots of rest. Yeah, I'm the same way. I need to start doing more. One thing I've noticed here quite recently, and it's happened to me before, I'm releasing decent shorts, and I see where they're getting very few views. Yeah, I still have, there'll be one 400 and some odd views, but here lately, 30 views, 20 views, 50 views. I've got one that I released like almost 2 days ago, around 150 views. And yeah, I could be releasing more, but I give them time to get some views up, and then I'll release another one. I mean, I could right now I've got 6 or 7 ready that I could basically upload them all. But I feel like they wouldn't get they wouldn't they wouldn't get many views. If I release one and let it get some views and then I release another one, when that one starts slowing down, it keeps people going, as opposed to, they say, well, you should be releasing 6 shorts a day or whatever. I've never released 6 shorts in a day. I've never released 5 shorts in a day. One time I released 4. Oh, hello, Dave. How's it going? 4 in the house and 5 likes. Well, have you hit 10,000 yet, Dave? Oh, Lord, you're doing well, my friend. The Lord is with you. Devil Dog Prepper. How are you doing, sir? Should hit 5K next weekend. Well, God bless you. Yeah. I was previously averaging 1.2K a day at one point. I would get a couple hundred views on my live stream and I'd usually release 2 shorts, and they'd usually get a little over 400 views each, so that was 1,000 views. I was averaging a little over 1,000 views. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. Well, good for you, Mom. Oh yeah, I had to give them pay. I had to set up a PayPal. That way they can they can they can pay me. Oh Lord Almighty. Yeah, the big bucks. Oh, at one time, I was talking about doing a daily video that would be like a 5 minute, it'd be like a 2, 3, 4, 5 minute at most. My take on the news, what was going on in the news, or my recap of what was going on in the news. And I'd do one every day. In addition to when I would do live streams, I would try to do a video and it would be, you know, and yeah. My videos have not been getting. They used to. All my videos used to average over 1,000 views. I'd be putting like maybe one a week out, and they'd be upwards 1,000, 1,200. Yeah. And it's been a while. It's been a while since I've had anything get near 1,000 views. The highest I had was recently, I did one on wiring a pair of Power Queen lithium iron batteries, and that one got 400 and some odd views in 24 hours. And then it basically just shut off. Well, you have to learn. Yeah, the shorts aren't getting that much. Not mine. I did a real nice Christmas short of a Christmas tree at the Holiday Inn Express we were staying at, lights and everything. Nice, huge tree. I did about a 30-second short, put Christmas music to it, and it has about 50 views. 50 views. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Utah Mike, how you doing, Utah? I can fly a plane. I have never flown a plane. I have never been on a plane. If you're talking to me, I've never wanted to be on a plane. Now, my father had a pilot's license. May he rest in peace. That was a long time ago. He used to fly those smaller planes, those single engine. He could fly. He had a pilot's license. And I don't know if it was instrument rated or not. I know a little bit about, but I've never. 8 watching and 8 likes. I've noticing that as my library of content grows, that 500 is when that stop being shared. They used to stop at 400. Yeah, I would say I would be happy if I consistently was hitting the 400, and I was, and then it seems like no more. And then every once in a while, one will hit 400 now. And this has been going on for the last week or so. The other thing I will tell you is, on one occasion, I had one in a period of 24 hours that hit over 6,000. And then when that one hit 6,000, and then it basically stopped, I put up some others. I put up one, I put up one, I put up one. And then they were getting like 20, 30, 50, less than 100. And that went on for several days. And then I got back to where I had a few that would hit the 400. So I think the algorithm makes a determination, this is what we want you to have or be able to get for a cycle. This is your average. So if the algorithm thinks that I should be 15,000 views in a month, then it will throttle me so that it limits me to that amount of views. And then if I'm a little bit short, it'll pump me up on a couple. And I think that's what's really happening. Hello, Mike Crusher. Mike Crusher Reviews is my MRE and reviewer of all sorts of goodies. Have you put up anything recently, Mike? Let us see. All right. I'm thinking I'm behind. I may be behind 1 or 2 videos. Think I need to view the channel update. And then 5 days ago, you did a 2018 Canadian IMP chicken and sausage. Need to make a note to go over and get caught up. Little Lone Prepper, how are you doing? And I have to tell you, I've been procrastinating. I hadn't got that box loader, that video. I got to shoot that. Got to get it out to you. I am approaching the end of week 1 of my 2-week vacation, so I got another week to go. I will try to work on that tomorrow. Saturday's a good day for me to do that. I've been sleeping a lot. Doing a giveaway. Okay, let's see. Where are we at? Did we hit 500? Let me go back there and check your 507. Hooray! Mike hit the 500. Congratulations. Yeah. Yep. Hadn't done that many. That video got maybe 150 views or so. Didn't get that many, but it got some. Truthfully, I've been resting. I sleep a lot. I've been sleeping. I will probably go to bed right after I finish with this. I'll get up. I got my alarm set for 6:15. I normally get up about 4 o'clock, but I got it set for 6:15. And I've got all sorts of notes. Notes. I got all sorts of notes of stuff that I'm doing, stuff I need to do, planner stuff. Please hit the like button. Be greatly appreciated. Well, the last 2 live streams I've done, each of them got a little over 8 hours. That's initial. During the stream, a little over 8 hours of watch time, and not that many people. Yesterday, it was 28. The previous one was 30, and the one before that was 28. I'm way down, way down. But the faithful are with me. And I will remember the faithful. I will remember to bless the faithful. People should really sleep more in the winter. It's part of our natural circadian rhythm. Well, I will tell you what I've learned, for what it's worth, for information. When we're younger, we need more sleep. When we're older, we sleep less, but we rest more. We need more rest. And I guess I'm in that sweet spot. But I've been sleeping a lot. Remember, YouTube is not an American company. Yes, I know that. You're 61? Okay, we're very close. Yep, 4 a.m. is usually about the time I wake up. We see, I get up, I'm at work 6:30, 6:45. The school starts at 8:30. You're supposed to be there by 7:45, so I'm there an hour beforehand. That's when I basically get stuff done. I get organized for the day. When it's time, when I get to leave at 4:15, the bell rings at 3:45. The kids get out. I go do 30 minutes of bus duty in the library, where we have the bus riding students wait. And then when somebody calls that the bus has shown up, I walk them out. There's other people in there, but several of us got walkie-talkies. They'll call a bus and we'll go line them up, and then I'll walk them through and unlock the doors. Got to go through the library. And but I get out about 4:15. Wednesdays is hell day. That's when we have staff meetings. A lot of times I have to stay till about 5. Once in a while, 5:30. And Wednesdays. But I usually try to get out as soon as I can get out. I usually go directly home. Sometimes I stop and get stuff, or I get food or whatever. I coordinate with the wife. Like, when I'm able to eat the way I want to eat, I like to eat a salad every day. I like a good salad. If I go to Aldi's, I get a salad kit. If I go to HEB, I can get a good salad for like $5.50, like a 9-ounce salad, and they'll have half of an egg and a couple of cherry tomatoes and some cucumber and different little, and they'll have like chicken or ham. Yeah, I understand. When I was a school administrator, usually Tuesdays and Fridays and sometimes Thursdays were late nights where I did not get out of school until 10 o'clock because of games. The girls usually have, like in the fall, you got football. So Thursday is like freshman football or JV football. Friday is varsity. So you're either at home or you travel to wherever the game is in your district. Usually Tuesdays and Fridays are volleyball in the fall. When the boys are playing football, the girls are playing volleyball. When you get to basketball season, they usually alternate home games, and you're usually there for the home games. You don't travel, but you're at the home game. So Tuesday will be, and you'll usually have, like in a smaller school, you'll have like a freshman squad or a JV squad, and you'll have a varsity squad. And sometimes it's a really small school, you just have a varsity squad. And they play, and, same thing with the boys, and they alternate. One's home, one's away. In the spring, you usually have, after basketball season, you have baseball and softball. Usually one's home, one's away. And you're at the home game. So for most of the year, a couple nights a week, you're at school, sometimes till like close to 10 o'clock at night. Like Friday night football, sometimes 11. So yeah, I know what it is to work late. And now I'm teaching. And I'm actually making, my salary is actually, because where I work, APs don't make very good money. You get raises, but I mean, when you're fairly new, I make more than a couple of there's 3 APs, and I make more than a couple of APs because they're rookies. They've only been APs for a couple of years. And I'm at the top of the teacher pay scale with all the stipends, and so I actually make more money. And I thought about going back into administration like this next year. Like, thought about, because there was always openings for APs, and I could very easily get an AP job. And I don't know that the pay would be worth the increase in pay that I might get. Would be worth, if I did get a decent increase in pay, would be worth the extra hours that I'd put in. But I am retired, and I get a retirement check, and then I'm what's called a rehire, so I'm working. So I get pay. So I get my pay, and then I get my retirement check. And my insurance is through my retirement. When I turn 65, I'll be able to get Medicare. I won't be able to get Social Security because they got a thing in Texas about Social Security if you're an educator, if you're with the state, because the state retirement's a lot better than Social Security. So yeah, when I retired, I have the Blue Cross of Texas retirement care, and it's $200 a month, and it's been the same for 7 years. It has not gone up. It's $200 a month, and I basically wellness check. Usually, a little after the beginning of the year, I'll have a wellness check. The doctor will write me a script for 12 months, so I get every 3 months I get a refill. So my medications, they write scripts for everything, so I don't have to. And then usually, if I'm sick, I do a teledoc. I call teledoc, or here are the symptoms, and then they prescribe stuff. But that's usually what happens. And I usually work when I'm sick. Like it sort of worked, it sort of worked out for me that I had the flu over Thanksgiving. I got the flu a couple of days before the Thanksgiving break, and I was sick for about 10 days. Theraflu and all that crap that I took, and 4 different prescription drugs and everything. I was just laid out. Laid out. Yeah. My daughter has her own health insurance, and then I have the wife on a different Blue Cross that I pay for. Yeah, everything gets expensive. And health insurance is not cheap at all. It's expensive. 7 watching, 11 likes. So I'm told people will tell me that they get notifications that to be careful because of my content. I said, this is my content. I talk about life. Uncle Al says, stick to a script, and have a script, and stick to it, and basically talk prepping. And I talk about whatever, and I do reminisce. One of my degrees, and I have multiple majors in my degrees, but one of my degrees is in history, and you have to have 24 hours to have a degree in history. You get your freshman. Everybody has to take U.S. history. Everybody takes U.S. history, 6 hours, 2 semesters. Each semester's 3 hours. To get a degree, you have to take 18 hours of prescribed. In addition to the 6, you got 24 hours to get your prescribed classes. And I have 39 hours in history. So I took way over what was required to get a degree in history. I took a lot of, British history, part 1, British history, part 2, Western civilization, part 1, Western civilization, part 2. I took a lot of stuff, Texas history, Mexico, history of Mexico, all that, different. And I studied, when I was young, I studied history. I loved the Roman Empire, the Pax Romana, the period of a couple of 100 years where the Romans were just awesome. When I retired, Mike, I had my wife and my daughter, because my daughter was a college student at the time, and my wife's the one that's got the health problems, that traditionally has the health issues. I had my wife and my daughter on my insurance, and it was $1,000 a month. Mine's $200, the wife's $500, and the daughter is 300. Was 300. And then the daughter started working. I dropped the daughter. She had her own insurance, and I I switched the wife off because it didn't pay that well. I mean, it didn't cover that well. And the idea being was the primary got pretty good coverage, but like my wife's the secondary, and it's like a lot more expensive, but then it really didn't cover. So like she takes medication. All my medication's basically free. It's refilled. All that stuff takes 6 different prescription pills. It's pretty much all free. It's covered. Whereas the wife's, there are copays, you know, and some of those copays were pretty good sized. So it wasn't, you didn't get the same type of coverage for her. So I've got her on a different, you know, coverage. Well, I tell you, from what I've heard, President Trump said he's going to look at that TikTok thing, and he's asking them to delay removing TikTok. It's scheduled to basically be taken out of the U.S. market on the 10th of January. I believe that's the deadline for the sale, passed by a joint. Both parties basically agreed to it. Yeah. I guess that's pretty good, 700 per month. I guess that's pretty good. Um, yeah, I hear you. The FCC, oh Lord. I've been watching a lot of shorts. I watch shorts. And if you're one of those that I basically have hit the bell icon for, I get notifications for your stuff. And then when I go through shorts, I roll through shorts, your shorts will come up. Like you're putting out shorts, I get your shorts. So I watch the shorts, I leave likes, I usually leave a comment. And I don't watch many videos, but I hit the shorts. And then sometimes I'll go look at a channel and I'll watch a video or two. But um yeah, YouTube seems to be set up so that if you say anything that offends their algorithm, they whack you. They start so-called fact checking you. And you can say something that's absolutely true, but it's not their truth. You can say the truth, but it's not their truth, and you get whacked. You can be accused of, of false information or um, something that's accepted, but they don't accept it. The county pays $17,000 a year for our health insurance every year. That's outrageous. It's over $1,000 a month. That's outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. You know, a lot of people are moving from blue states to red states because of income taxes and county taxes and city taxes and, just outrageous. They hit you, they just hit you really hard. And then cost of living in some of these places is a lot higher. Uh, so Elon Musk has been moving his operations out of California. He used to be real big in California. And the latest one is that he's got a Tesla plant out there. And he's the big electric motor company. And he's basically he's basically the only dog out there, the big dog. And they're hitting him. So what they don't understand is that as he moves facilities, like he moved Twitter, he moving Tesla, moving SpaceX, thousands and thousands of $100,000+ a year jobs out of the market. So Tesla, I believe, he's really upset. So he's moving the last of his Tesla operation out of California, and that's 27,000 jobs in the San Francisco area that they're going to take. But 27,000 $100,000+ a year jobs, $150,000 a year jobs, 27,000 out of the San Francisco Bay Area. And he's done the same thing with other operations. And they don't back off the guy. They will not back off the guy. So you look at some of these blue cities like New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Seattle, where you've got these big operations and they leave and they take thousands and thousands of jobs with them. And a lot of these people will move to where they'll move to the new area because, if you're making $150,000 a year and you can move to a better place with lower taxes when your company moves, don't you think you'll relocate? So you think about that. Think about what they're doing. And you can't reason with them. You can't reason with them. Language, politics, sex, weapons, criminal activity, child abduction, cults. The list is 20 pages long. You can Google all sorts of stuff, and you can look up all sorts of stuff, like a lot of food recalls. I've looked at that. I don't keep track of it, but sometimes I'll see a blurb about it. They do food recalls. Sam's, Walmart, Costco, different HEB, big companies, food recalls. Um, and the other thing is, get people moving, and you're getting a realignment of how people vote. Party affiliations and how they vote. You're getting a realignment, but then sometimes you get these people with the blue people, and they'll move to a red state and they want to keep voting blue. It's like, okay, you're moving out of an area where people who think like you took over, and they're just seriously screwing up everything, making it a worse place to live with the policies and what they do. And they're not bright enough to see the damage that they're causing. And then you don't like it, so you move, but you keep that same philosophy. So what? Now you want to go someplace else and screw up their area? Oh, you can't say that. It's hateful. It's false information. It's common sense. Since when is common sense false information? Yeah, I hear in the election out there, like a third, Trump got about a third of the votes. So like 2/3 of the people voted blue, 1/3 voted red. And the people who voted red tend to be out in the rural areas, the smaller counties out where smaller population. If you look at a map of the United States, it's pretty much just red, except for, areas where these huge cities are just like blobs of blue, but you've got millions of people there. Yeah, you've got some of these cities where you got 50, 60,000 homeless people in a city. Some of the biggest blue cities, just massive homeless populations, and just everything's dirty and nasty. Five in the house. Uh, the other thing, I understand. When I was doing my 7 p.m. daily live streams, I was getting a lot more views. I'd get well in excess of 100 views on a video. I mean, there were videos where live streams where I'd get 300, 350 views. And you had some just clicking through, but then a lot of them would stay. And I'd get like 20 watch hours doing an hour and 15-minute live stream. And I'd get 20 watch hours. In the last 3 evenings that I've done my live streams, I've averaged about 30 views at the actual live stream and about a little over 8 watch hours. So there are still people that give me a lot of time. They come in, they stay for a lot of time, and they communicate and they participate, but not near what I had before. Now, I've seen a video where they, the Israelis have been taking advantage of the fall of the Assad regime over in Syria, and they basically been bombing everything they can to destroy whatever military structures they have, their airfields, their weapons, their anti air defenses, their what air force they have, their navy. And there was an earthquake that was registered in 800 miles away in Turkey, a 3.1 quake, and heightened radiation. So they're speculating that they may have used a low yield nuke hitting some underground bunkers facilities that they had, to make sure they took it out. A penetrating bomb that went down penetrated before it went off. Low yield nuke. Because of the strength of the blast and the result of it. I mean, it was an underground. It wasn't a mushroom cloud. It was an underground blast. It went down a couple hundred feet probably before it went off. Went down in some bunker or whatever. That's what I saw on the YouTube. And Uncle Al, be careful, David, be careful. Okay. Now they're going after the Houthis. A lot of stuff going on, down in Yemen. The Saudis, I think a couple of the Saudis been having problems with the Houthis. Yemen, they're having problems with Yemen. They got a border fence, wall, whatever you want to call it, trying to keep them out, the radicals. The Russians are trying to get their stuff out of Syria. They're trying to get their stuff out of Syria. And all their assets they're trying to get to the coast. But they're sort of stuck because they can't go up through. Turkey won't let them get into the Black Sea, military-wise. And their ships really aren't. They don't have the range without refueling to go through the Mediterranean out into the Atlantic up through to get to their port. So they're sort of SOL. And if they show up in an Allied port because there's a war, they'll be interred probably. So the Russians are sort of messed up because that's the best stuff they got, in the area that hasn't been sunk. And they're sort of stuck out there. They don't know what to do. Yeah, you should be able to speak, but, this platform is a foreign-owned company, and they've got their agendas and such. It'd be nice if, Elon's talking about buying MSNBC. MSNBC will be sold, and he'll fire most of the employees and restaff it with more conservative types. CNN may be sold, and it'd be nice if somebody more conservative purchased it. So they'll get the hint. They'll just fire and let all these woke liberals go. That's what Musk usually does. And just, you know, yeah, well, at some point they're going to have to start dealing with them. It's going to be a major effort to try to take care of all the illegals. I mean, they're not going to. You think, okay, they're going to deport 30 million people, 40 million people. I mean, could you imagine trying to deport 1 million people in a year? How long would it take to deport them? They're gonna go after the troublemakers first. They're gonna deport the ones that are criminals, that are gang members, that are, you know, the ones that are. They're going to go after those people first, and that'll be an effort. You know, they go after the criminal element. Then you got to secure the border. You got to, you know, building the wall. It's expensive. It supposedly costs about $25 million a mile. And they're building, and they're working in different areas. They're building a couple of miles a week. You know, they're working, like in Texas, they're working in 3 or 4 different areas building wall. And they might get a couple of miles a week done, if they're lucky. And, you know, just wide open areas. I mean, you basically have to declare a national emergency and move the military down there and then forcibly keep them out. You know, you can't be down there armed with your, you know, with your military weapons, and they're wanting to come through, and just let them come through. If you let them do that, they'll just keep coming. If you use force to prevent them from coming across, word will get around, and that'll cut it way back. And then you got to go after the cartels. You know, you declare the cartels terrorist organizations, then you can send your special operators down to go deal with them in Mexico, whether the Mexican government likes it or not. You know, landmines, claymores, tripwire stuff, pudgy sticks. And they're talking about going into Mexico a few miles and setting up a second wall with a dead zone in between, just tear everything down where there's nothing there. They'd have to basically go south of the Rio Grande and shut off their access to the Rio Grande. Because, you know, the wall is not being built in the water. Supposedly in the middle of the river's the border. So the wall's not being built in the water, so they're going a couple of 100 yards up this way. They come across, they're actually on U.S. territory. They're just on the other side of the wall. And then they just go until they can find an opening in the wall, because they're breaches. Yeah, like a DMZ. Yeah. But, you know, I'm hearing all the good stuff because of the situation with the communists. They're talking about reasserting authority on the canal, which we should have never given up. You know, back in 79, Carter. We should have never done that. Reasserting control of the canal, whether they like it or not. A 25% tariff on everything from Canada and Mexico if they don't control their border and crossings. Hit them where it hurts. Buying Greenland, getting Denmark to sell Greenland, acquiring certain areas in northern Canada, unpopulated areas in northern Canada, because of the way the things are going from Canada, buying from Canada. They're talking about certain things. Buying Bermuda from Great Britain. Be a good base operations out in the middle of the Atlantic. We'll force the issue. They're talking about forcing the issue. Make them an offer they can't refuse. There's very little there, but there's resources there, but they don't have the ability to mine them. Denmark doesn't have the ability to mine them. There's not that many. There's a lot of Americans there. Not majority of the population, but there's a lot of Americans there. And a lot of Americans will go there if they actually, if the United States, and there'd probably be a military base there. There was back during the war. Yeah, Corpus Christi has really grown. It is a population of about 320,000 now. It's an hour and 45 minutes south of me, about 100 miles south of me. They've got a huge port. They've also got Naval Station Ingleside, where they were home porting certain. They got the air base. They got the training wing. It's a lot of military there. Yeah, Biden's trying to do as much damage as he can before he leaves office. One of the things I've heard that they're going to do is they're going to go after those 15,000 Haitians in Ohio that they flew in. The ones that are eating all the dogs, cats, the pets, the cannibal ones. Looking at deporting them. Some of the first ones they'll deport. But you're talking, let's say it's going to be like $11,000 a person. The other thing is sanctions against any country that will not repatriate their illegals. You don't take them back, we're going to get you. Finding a place to put them. Can't put them all in Gitmo. Six watching and 12 likes. Please leave a like to support the channel. So, it is Friday the 27th. And tomorrow will be Saturday the 28th. They flew them in. They snuck them in. They did give them temporary residency. They did that with a lot of them, which supposedly allows them to be here. They can deal with that. The thing is, you just have to deal with it and then deal with them when they're trying to screw with you. Like the ACLU, you got to put them down. You got to deal with them. I'm sure they're going to do a lot of stuff differently this time than they did the last time. They're not going to play with them. you know. And some of the biggest troublemakers that caused the most grief, I think they're probably going to go after them and prosecute them for some of the illegal stuff that they did. So, I will plan on being back tomorrow at 7-ish, Lord willing. Every day when I get up, I thank God for the day. I take my medicine. I drink my coffee, say the Lord's Prayer. I contemplate the day. I try to live by example, treat people the way I want to be treated. I appreciate you. They cut my audio. Well, everybody, you take care. God bless you. And hopefully see you tomorrow for another edition of Coffee Talk. Bye-bye.